This is the Presidential Office of Taiwan, in the heart of the capital Taipei. It's where the president and vice president work and where foreign delegations meet with high-level Taiwanese officials. The building was completed in 1919 by Japanese architect Yuheji Nagano during the 50-year period of Japanese rule of Taiwan.
It all started with the Japanese occupation era, which started in 1895. This presidential palace, when it began, it used to be a smaller scale residential property, and then over the years became the presidential palace.
The Japanese ruled Taiwan until 1945, when they were forced to give it up after losing World War II.
Initial Japanese rule involved ruling over Taiwanese subjects who didn't want to be ruled by the Japanese. So this is the first decade or two following 1895. There were a large number of revolts and insurrections against Japanese rule that were violently put down by the Japanese military.
By the third decade, the Japanese had built schools, hospitals, and developed infrastructure, beneficial vestiges that are still used today. This is Chidong Street, right in the capital of Taipei. It serves as a reminder of Japanese colonial rule over Taiwan, where these houses used to host civil servants and high-level officials from Japan. But the Japanese also left their mark in other ways, from the food Taiwanese people eat and the sports that are played.
The Taiwanese is deeply, profoundly influenced by the Japanese. The entire culture, not just the architecture, the city planning, the artwork, the history, all of the artistic treasures in the daily life are mainly like that.
But in 1949, a few years after World War II, Taiwan was flooded by some 2 million people from China. They were led by Chiang Kai-shek of the Kuomintang, or KMT, who lost the Chinese Civil War to the Communist Party. Thus began a 40-year period of oppressive rule known as the White Terror, when the KMT jailed dissidents and imposed Chinese culture and the Mandarin language.
Chiang Kai-shek's rule firsthand, and many of them have obviously very negative experiences living under the White Terror, living under a very brutal authoritarian regime. Many, I should say, much fewer people have experienced Japanese rule firsthand.
These days, government statistics show 60% of Taiwanese see Japan in a favorable light, and only 35% feel similarly inclined towards China. Taiwan is still working to reconcile its painful history, balancing nostalgia for its colonial Japanese past, with the wounds inflicted by more recent oppressors. The KMT is still a presence in Taiwanese society, and while debate rages over maintaining the monuments to its brutal legacy, there are fewer questions here about keeping the landmarks left by the Japanese. Hsueh and Wang for TaiwanPlus.